If something cannot go on forever, it will stop, conservative economist Herb Stein once said, a statement that perfectly sums up my belief about 2024. Biden versus Trump is unthinkable. Therefore, it won't happen.
They used to call Democrats the evil party and Republicans the stupid party.
Jim Banks was invoking former Wyoming Senator Alan Simpson's distinction between America's two political parties. The question is, which party will first offer voters an alternative to the Biden-Trump dilemma? I think that whichever party nominates someone other than Trump or Biden will almost certainly win the decisive votes of independents and therefore the election.
A new poll out today shows more than 3/4 of Americans say Mr. Biden is too old to be effective if reelected. This includes 89% of Republicans and 74% of independents.
And it is that portion of independents that Democrats understand will swing the result in their favor.
There's a reason why we don't see 50-year-olds on the football field. There's a reason why we don't see 70-year-olds flying our commercial airlines. And I think at a certain point, we need to take a look at our chief executive of the United States and say, possibly he does not have what it takes to run this country.
Virtually every event related to the 4 Trump indictments ratchets up the Republican rage meter several more points for nominating the former president. Since that mugshot of Donald Trump in Georgia was released, it's reported the Trump team has made more than $7 million.
If Trump is once again sucking up the oxygen, getting all of the media coverage from that trial going into Super Tuesday, that I can't see how that necessarily hurts him.
For conservatives, the support for Trump is overwhelmingly a rush of emotion and a blood feud. But come election time, Democrats don't do emotion. They're bloodless, with eyes only on the prize.
The President of the United States.
Once Democrats conclude the Republican Party has locked itself into a Trump candidacy, it will be time for another Clyburn moment.
I'm voting for Joe Biden. South Carolinas should be voting for Joe Biden.
In 2020, Jim Clyburn calculated that left-wing Bernie Sanders could not win the general election and pulled the plug on the Democratic Socialist by endorsing Joe Biden. It may have been a fraud on voters that Mr. Biden was a moderate, but Democrats do what they gotta do. To win in 2024, they will pull the plug again, this time on Joe Biden. They're already laying the groundwork.
Democrats are telling me that they want not a coronation, but they want a competition.
The 2024 presidential election has outsized importance because the United States is at a political tipping point. Depending on party control of the White House, the country will go further left, as now, or turn back towards the center right.
The administration has, since day one, since the president signed his first executive order on making sure that everything we've done is focused on equity in this administration.
For nearly 3 years, Mr. Biden has allowed the party's career progressives to use executive orders and administrative rulemaking to put in place their long-time policy goals related to climate, union rules, and statistically derived equity results. The capstone was the Inflation Reduction Act.
It makes the largest investment in clean energy and climate action in the world, touching every sector: power, transportation, buildings, industry, agriculture, and forestry.
Unlike the Clyburn endorsement, there will not be a coronation. Democrats can't explicitly throw over Kamala Harris, but they can open their primaries to an array of Democratic governors who will evade responsibility for Mr. Biden's economic policies. California's Gavin Newsom, Michigan's Gretchen Whitmer, North Carolina's Roy Cooper, Colorado's Jared Polis, Pennsylvania's Josh Shapiro, New Jersey's Phil Murphy, or Illinois' J.B. Pritzker. Democrats don't have to win big. They just have to win. And any of these governors with the party and its donor base behind them could pull across a winning margin of the independents who want an alternative to Donald Trump.
Biden's inflation is choking us. Joe Biden has weakened America at home and abroad.
More people are dying of bad climate change policies than they are of actual climate change.
Yes, virtually any of the other Republican candidates would surely defeat Joe Biden, who is unpopular for personal and policy reasons. What is not a mystery is whether the stupid party or the evil party will figure that out first.